definitely have a problem lately. I have no enthusiasm to work, and I don't work very much because all my enthusiasm is pretty much dead. So I think I need to go for a walk outside before I settle down and come back in and have something to eat, and then I might by three o'clock I might actually work because work is, I only need to spend an hour in work because I don't like to do it too much because it's just like too much is just too much. There's only so much that I can put up with before I'm putting down the phone and being like, now it's too much. But I should be doing a lot more work. I should technically be getting up at 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning and then just be up and at 'em by 9 o'clock, and then I can get work done by 10 and then have the rest of the day. But I'm not on that schedule yet, so I just pop on and off whenever I feel like it still. Even though I've been meaning to have more of a schedule rather than wake up whenever I feel like, get up whenever I feel like. Usually, I've been sleeping in a lot more lately, but usually I do play with my phone, so I don't consider that a waste of time when I'm playing with my phone while I'm still in bed, because I can spend 2 hours in the morning playing with my phone, and I'm like, well, I haven't been sleeping, I've been wasting time, but lately I've been sleeping in more and more, so it's like 9:20 before I even wake up. But I technically should like get up by 8 and then, be ready for work by 9 and then get work done first before I end up doing other things. So, yeah. I technically should, but I don't. I have, like I said, I have no enthusiasm to work. When I'm on the computer and stuff, it's better. When I'm actually there, and I just tell myself, no fooling around. You have to just do it. Just log in to actually work and not log in to play around with the computer until you feel like working. Usually, if I'm not straightforward like that, I will, do a dozen other things before I start working. And and then I'll be like, yeah, it's 11 o'clock now. Now I should work. Now I can work and stuff. But yeah, I don't know why you guys are excited. They're starting to feel the energy of I'm almost letting them out to roam around. Look how much food they got. They didn't even eat all of it yet. They get so excited when I'm around. But yeah, sometimes if food's a little frozen, like today it was a little frozen, so it's a little cold, so they leave it till later. That's alright, just a couple of hours and it'll all be defrosted. But I put the where are they? I put the pins in so the tray stays put, because sometimes that tray ends up upside down because they start scratching at it, and it can toss upside down when it's not being held down. The food dishes are generally okay, but that dish in particular, that where they get the fruits and veggies off, is sometimes ends up upside down. So, but they've been good. They're surviving, so I was most concerned about them, leaving them with a neighbor who isn't necessarily experienced with looking after the chickens the way we like to look after them. So obviously they don't know that the dog still attacks them if the dog can get to them, and they just assume the dog's a nice family dog, and it's like, nope, it's a dog. It's a dog with a wolf instinct, and it will attack the chickens. So unfortunately, we lost one of the three, and I still miss them. I still miss the other one. It was the shy one. It was the one which was nicer. These two are a couple little. They're younger and they're bratty. The other one's like the one that just stands by the side a lot, and but but I it seemed to have some sort of energy, and without there it feels like, oh, the energy is not there anymore. So obviously its presence had its impact. But yeah, I just stayed behind him. Like, I couldn't stand it if I left for a holiday and any of these other two chickies, died because of one thing or another. So, I like to think if they're being looked after properly and you keep an eye out for them. I mean, I do a 9 p.m. and a 12 a.m. watch on them to make sure that they're fine in their coop, nothing's attacking it, and obviously if any of those, I call them duties, any of those habits, if people don't do that, they could easily be attacked by something. I mean, we've got snakes all over the place, and the neighbours are all saying they've got snakes, and we haven't seen any, but there's probably heaps of snakes over there. But yeah, so I said, well, we've already lost one, may as well volunteer just in case. And so I put my foot forward, and the offer was accepted, and I missed out on an awesome holiday to babysit chickens. Mm-hmm. That doesn't sound great, but at least I know the chickens are okay. Otherwise, I would have just been depressed anyways, being like, oh, I wonder what the chickens are, how the chickens are. Because chickens aren't really that hard to look after. It's just knowing what to do, and yeah, it's possible that they probably would have been perfectly safe just being looked after, but I just thought I'd make sure. Because the neighbor didn't really want to look after them anymore, because they already felt like bad enough that the other chicken died. And so, in relation, the little guinea fowl died first. So we accidentally killed a little bird too. I'm not sure if birds are dead or whether they're just plain dead or whatever, but I guess it wasn't breathing. It mustn't have been breathing, but I still think animals can put themselves in subconsciousness and then just pretend to be dead when they're alive, and I'm like, I'm not convinced that they're not dead. I generally wait until their bodies turn kind of, stiff and stuff, and you're like, nope, that body isn't going to be alive again, and then I bury them, whereas the person I live with just buries them right away just before their body starts decaying. And yeah, it's very sad, because you do feel like all these little beings can be alive, but anyway, yeah, but yeah, I haven't been feeling like doing anything lately. It's like, oh, do I feel like going for a walk? Yeah, but do I feel like working? No, I don't feel like sitting on the computer. But to my credit, I did finish a story yesterday. It just wasn't a story that's due for my assignment, so I was like, gotta get on the computer to study as well. I've got to do so much, and then I'm like, and then all I can do is toil around doing nothing. I don't feel like doing anything in particular. Just feel like walking around in circles. And when we're slipping on this ground, I think this ground's supposed to be rolled sometime in the future. I didn't check to see if it's... Oh yeah, it does get hard. Look at that. I thought it was silly that it got hard. I just take a look at this because I was very skeptical. I was like, oh, does it really get that hard? It's like, yeah, it does. It's firm. Well, this has been firmed up ever since it started raining. I thought that was a silly notion that, this gravelly, sandy stuff would stick, because when it's first applied, it's all loose, like sand, and you can kick it around a bit. And then I was told, oh, wait for it to get a little wet, and then it'll firm up, and I was like, oh, really? Because it feels pretty loose, and it feels like it's just going to cave, but it's treading it now, a week after it's been done, and after a few rainfalls. It's pretty darn sturdy, actually. It needs to be pressed, apparently, but it's like cement now. So it's like, oh, so that's what the difference is. I think that it's not perfectly smooth. There are little bumps. These are bumps. Don't know why there were bumps there. It's like, yeah, this is like a perfectly professionally done driveway. Don't mind the bumps. At least it's not like we had a totally gappy, worn away soil driveway, and so this fence had huge gaps in the underneath, and we were like, that's why we got the driveway done. And was like, I was skeptical. I was like, oh, I'm not sure if this is going to hold, but it seems to be holding. Yeah. It's just not perfectly straight. Like, there's a bump. This, where the shadow bit ends here, this is a bump. It's like, oh, what's this bump? Is it supposed to have a bump on it? It's not flat. Maybe it's supposed to have a bump, like a speed bump. Oh no, I think the bumps are put there to make sure that there's a flood water can't just flow to the gate. It collects the debris that comes down in the flood water, so it doesn't gather at the gate or something. I think that's what the bumps are for, because I sort of faintly recall someone saying that. This is another bump. These bumps stop the debris from flowing down and collecting at the gate. So there's a couple of them. So yes, those bumps are intentional. Now that I'm recalling it, but yeah, I mean it's still loose, but it's we're gonna get it all pressed down, so everything is pressed, but. So it's still a bit loose as it is, but it's a lot harder than what it was. Not like sand anymore. No, it's good. Compacted dirts and sand. Yeah. Nice tree. I had to water the garden this morning. That's alright. Only a couple of days till everyone gets back, and then everyone else can water the garden. So I just gave it a pretty light watering. I didn't give this tree watering. I wonder if it needs some water. Looks all curled. I think I better. It looks really weird. doesn't need much, just a little bit.